You built you. You run you. Be the CEO of you. This is C.You.O. You run you. Born to build, raised to run, made to
Because if
lead.
you don't do it, who's
This
gonna do it?
is C.You.O. Welcome back to C.You.O. Let's go. Let's grow. Someone else is driving. Let me ask you something. If someone copied you exactly, your habits, your routines, your mindset, starting today, would they succeed or would they struggle? Because the truth is, a lot of people aren't actually lost. They're just constantly second guessing themselves. And when you don't trust yourself, you start trusting everyone and everything else. Here's the new reality. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has a voice. We're living in a time where everybody can teach, but not everybody is qualified to guide. You've got AI telling you how to think, social media telling you how to live, people with no real results telling you how to win. And the problem isn't a lack of information, it's a lack of self trust and discernment. Because if you don't trust your own voice, every other voice gets louder. So, this episode is about trusting yourself because you've made it this far. Trust yourself. So, here's the danger of misguided mentorship. Here's what really happens when you don't trust yourself. You start outsourcing your decisions. You look for validation, you look for direction, you look for someone to confirm what you already felt. And that's where people get stuck. Not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't believe they're allowed to trust it. I call it intuition, or trusting your gut is what some people like to call it. So they follow advice from people who don't know their situation, haven't lived their reality, and aren't responsible for their outcomes. Don't forget while we're here, you're a C.U.O. And if you can't trust yourself, then who can you trust? That's a dangerous trade. So do you trust yourself? Let's think about that childhood story, the tortoise versus the hare. Everybody knows the story of the tortoise and the hare. But look at it differently. The hare had speed. The tortoise had self-trust and consistency. The hare chased momentum. The tortoise trusted the process. And that's where people mess up today. They're chasing fast results, quick advice, instant clarity, and I also would like to add instant gratification instead of trusting what they've already learned, what they've already experienced, and how far they have already come. You don't lose because you're moving slow. You lose when you abandon your pace to follow someone else's. You've heard the saying, run your own race. And trust me, you're already further than you think you are. let's ground this for a second. You are not starting from zero. You've already navigated hard situations. You've made decisions under pressure. You figured things out when no one was there to guide you. Maybe you just didn't give yourself any credit, but you've done it. And that means something. That means you already have judgment, awareness, and experience. And please don't underestimate experience, which a lot of people currently do. The issue isn't that you don't know what to do. It's that you keep looking outside for permission to trust what you already know. So again, I ask you, do you trust yourself? Okay, so what I'm asking you to do is becoming your own mentor. So what happens when you don't have a mentor? That's exactly what happens. You become your own mentor. You stop waiting and you start leading yourself. Could you imagine that? Someone constantly waiting on a video or AI or someone to give them directions when they don't even trust yourself? Stop waiting and start leading yourself. Here's better questions. What has actually worked for me before? Where have I already proven myself? What am I ignoring that I already know? Those are a solid foundation of questions that can help you mentor yourself. You start building an internal standard. Eventually, you will get mentors. And even when you do get mentors, they should refine you, not replace your thinking. When you hear the word refined, let me just remind you of the real Webster Dictionary definition. To improve something by making small changes, specifically by removing impurities, flaws, or unwanted elements to achieve a higher state of purity, elegance, and precision. So you want a mentor that refines your thinking, not replaces your thinking. But let's talk about more about not even having that mentor or not having that tribe. That's the real part. What if you don't have a tribe? No circle, no guidance, no one who really understands where you're going, or you're surrounded by people that's in competition with you, or they're jealous of you, or they have secret things going on. Then this is your season of alignment, not isolation, alignment. So I just want to plug in there, this isn't an episode about isolation, but isolation is not healthy. You want to take time to align with yourself, but you never want to isolate. This is where you build your habits when you're aligning. You strengthen your mindset. You define your standards. So that when your tribe or your mentor or your team or your circle of influence shows up, you don't have to adjust to them. You attract them because y'all are on the same playing field. Because you already became someone solid. So once you get that tribe, let's talk about filtering advice without losing yourself. You don't need to shut out advice. That's not what this is. But you do need to filter it. How do you do that? You ask yourself, does this align with what I already know to be true from experience? Does this person have results I actually respect? So this was a big one for me when someone let me down one time. I was really leaning on this person and I had to think about it. And when I was thinking about our experience and what I had experienced with this person, my expectations were set too high. When I thought about, like, had this person ever did anything to show me that they would do something for me to help me? No. They didn't even have a good track record. Were they good at having advice? Yes. But when it came down to actually doing something, there was no track record of that. And normally you ask someone for a favor when you really need it. Most people. However, when you have this relationship with someone, you have to test the water sometimes. Not like fake situations, but maybe don't lean on them initially for a big request. Maybe something small just to see if you have that sort of relationship. Lately I've been seeing this quote. I don't know who said it, but there is another author for it. But they say, to have a friend, you have to be a friend. And that's been sticking with me because that means it's levels to that saying. However, back to what I'm saying is, does this person, do they have results that say that you can trust them as a mentor and they give you sound, refined advice? Or do they help you? Do they have good intentions? All those things you have to ask yourself when you're dealing with mentors in your tribe, and who's to be in your tribe and who's not going to be in that inner tribe. Does this advice build me or confuse me? That's a really good one to ask yourself. Like, am I confused when this person gives me advice? Does it take me a long time, or do I clearly understand it? And does it build me up? Because good guidance will sharpen you. It won't make you feel smaller, and it definitely won't leave you uncertain about something. So, in closing, I'll bring it back to this. If someone copied you today, would they succeed or would they struggle? Because that answer shows you where you trust yourself, where you are hesitating, and where you are still giving your power away. And if it's in every area, then you got a lot of refining to do. But even before you get a mentor, you have to be able to trust yourself. You don't need perfect guidance to grow. You need self-trust, awareness, and the discipline to move even when it's just you. And understand this: you are already further than you think because you're a C.You.O. You're here. You've already proven more than you give yourself credit for. Now it's time to trust it, stand on it, and lead from it. This is how you move different. This is how C.You.Os move. This is how you build something real. This is how you become a C.You.O. So when you're reminiscing on this episode, I want you to ask yourself, do I trust myself with my decision making? And who do I trust to refine in these decisions that I am making? And sometimes you need to look back and see, wait a minute, I've gotten through this before. What did I do then? What skills helped me? What got me through? What decisions helped me? Because, yeah, I do trust myself. I trust my intuition. I trust my decision making. I trust my experience as a C.You.O. And I'll see you next time in the boardroom. This is C.You.O. Thank you for tuning in to the C.You.O. podcast, a safe space for you to focus on you. Don't forget to subscribe, join the email list, and follow us on social media for daily encouragement. Remember, showing up for yourself first is the most powerful way to show up for others. Until next time, keep leading, keep growing, and keep choosing you.